जी
Uh,
जी
respected PCC President, respected Shri Manishankar Iyer ji, Professor Parnidurai ji, respected Senthil Kumar ji, and the State Chairman of RGPRS Tamil Nadu, Shri Kumar ji. It is indeed a great honor for me to get this opportunity of listening to inspiring words of the PCC President of Shri Manishankar Iyer ji, of Professor Parnidurai ji and Senthil Kumar ji, and to be able to be a part of this web conference of elected PRI representatives. In this occasion, I would like to pay my rich tributes to late Shri Rajiv ji. We are all in this platform, and both the reasons. One, we are all connected because this is a conference of elected PRI representatives, and it was Rajiv ji who transformed and thought about this 73rd, 74th Amendment. Of course, the act was passed after his sad demise, but it was his inspiration, and he was the one who initiated this process of devolution of power when he was the Prime Minister through the 64th Amendment. Unfortunately, it did not come through in his lifetime, but after his martyrdom, 73rd, 74th Amendment got implemented. It got passed. Today, we also, sitting in remote corners of the country, are able to connect with each other because of the internet revolution, which again was initiated by Rajiv ji. So I would like to pay my rich tributes to him. In the last 1.5 hours, I have learned every minute, every sentence, every expression, all your speeches motivated me immensely. And I'm very, very happy to be a part of this web conference. I would also like to say, with all humility, that it is entirely the efforts of Kumarji who has built the RGPRS system in Tamil Nadu under, of course, the leadership and guidance of the PCC president, of all senior leaders and all other colleagues from across the state, all our district conveners and elected PRI people. Kumarji has always uh, tried to give the RGPRS a definite shape and direction. It was only his initiative that the Grama Sabha participation movement took shape in Tamil Nadu. And we were all inspired by him, and then in the entire country, we followed it up. Again, when the CBSC decided to drop some chapters related to local self-governance from the curriculum of 10th and 12th class this year due to corona epidemic, the first protest videos came from Tamil Nadu. And it was such a honor, and with full humility, I would like to say that when elected PRI woman representative from Tamil Nadu gave her protest video, uploaded her protest video against this, it inspired all of us, and we also all followed. So Tamil Nadu RGPRS has always been a source of inspiration for us, and we have learned a lot from the team. In this occasion, I would like to add only one or two very important things from my side. Of course, Kumarji would do the translation in Tamil. Since I have been born, brought up in Madhya Pradesh, Tamil is not good enough to speak to you. That is, I would like to apologize for that. But of course, I could follow everything what you said in the last 1.5 hours. So what is it that happened in 1947? We just did not exchange rulers. We tried to change the system. And that gets very much reflected from the preamble of our constitution. What are the important guiding principles, guiding thought we get from the preamble? Sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. When we say sovereign, of course it means that now we are a free country. We are free from foreign rule, but it also means that we would be not governed, not ruled by fear. We would be free from fear. And what would sovereign mean for an individual, for the community, and for us as a nation? It means that no individual would be ruled by another individual. He would not be ruled by fear. He would not be ruled by some majority group, by a dominant caste or by a dominant community, or by those who have few people who are economically well off, or by those who have captured power. We would be a sovereign nation. We would be a free society. It also would mean that the nation would not be ruled by the state. And when I say nation, I mean the people, all the people, 100 crore people of this country. They would not be ruled by the state, by those who have captured power, by state would not be dictating to the nation by whom they can be represented, what they can eat, how they can live. By instilling fear, they cannot be ruling the nation. This is what we mean when we say that we would be a sovereign nation. And what would it mean when we come down to a Gram Panchayat? It would mean that the Gram Sabha would be free. It would be free. It would not be ruled by a Sarpanch. It would not be ruled by the Gram Panchayat, but it would be, the power would rest with the Grama Sabha. And the Grama Sabha would be free from fear to take its own course, to take its own decision in order to govern the Gram Panchayat. What would it mean to be a socialist state when it comes to a Gram Panchayat? The resources of the Gram Panchayat would rest with the Gram Sabha. Without consulting, without the consent of the Gram Sabha, no resource would be taken as a privilege or would be taken as a right by any powerful group. That is why when there was this Land Acquisition Act during the UPA government, it was decided that unless and until the 70% of the Gram Sabha in case of government and 80% of the Gram Sabha in case of a private project does not give their consent, there would be no acquisition. Today, all these rights have been diluted. There is a serious assault on the powers of the Gram Sabha, on the powers of the individual, as Senthil Kumarji rightly mentioned, and also all other speakers. So what would it mean to be a socialist when it comes down to a Gram Panchayat and its functioning? It would mean that all the resources would rest with the Gram Sabha. The Gram Sabha has to give its consent before any distribution of any resource, whether it be mining or any other thing, it cannot be done without consulting, without the consent of the Gram Sabha. What would it mean when we say that we would be a secular nation? Of course, it means that every individual faith would be respected by the state, by the nation. But when it comes to the Gram Panchayat, it would also mean that in the Gram Sabha, in the Gram Panchayat, people belonging to different faith, different religious beliefs would be equally respected. No one individual or one individual community would be allowed to dominate the Gram Sabha. The faith of one community cannot be imposed upon anyone. This kind of a cultural violence will not be tolerated. The Gram Sabha would be a place of inclusiveness. Grama Sabha would be a platform for communal harmony. And this is what we can achieve through an elected Gram Panchayat and by empowering the Grama Sabha. What would it mean to be a democratic republic when it comes to the Gram Panchayat? It means for us as a nation that we elect not rulers, but we elect representatives. Similarly, when it comes to the Gram Panchayat, it would mean that the Gram Panchayat elected representatives are not the rulers of the Gram Panchayat. The power should rest with the Gram Sabha. The Gram Panchayat elected representatives are not rulers, but mere representatives. And when major decisions on individual beneficiary schemes, on empowerment of the Gram Panchayat comes, it has to be done